Hi, so I'm going to explain my experience at shopping at IKEA. I haven't been there in a while, so I went recently just to check it out again. And while I didn't plan on buying anything, I ended up leaving with a chair for my room in my house. With that being said, I have mixed feelings about the store in general. For the most part, I was amazed by the showroom floor. Not only was there a huge variety of products, but each of the way they set it up was filled to the smallest detail. They didn't have rows of different products with but they had sample rooms that allowed customers to get a better feel of what their products looked like in a natural setting. I was very impressed with the details they put into the showrooms to make it look real as possible. In the family room areas, they had huge TVs, fake TVs set up on each of the countertops and tables for sale. And they didn't go cheap with these TVs. They made them look real as possible. And for a second, I took a double take because I thought IKEA was actually selling TVs. Also, in the kitchen areas, they had empty bottles of alcohol sitting out, as like one would have their own room in their own house, or even they had wine racks with wine bottles on there. One thing I did not like was the way the floor was set up. While they do a good job of putting up many signs for which each section is, there really is only one way to navigate the floors. You walk into one area and there's basically just arrows pointing you which way you should go, and it's kind of like a maze. You go in and out, but it's really hard to get from, if you want to go to a specific section, it's hard to jump to it without going through the whole store. They had like small doors that what were called shortcuts that let you get through, but these doors were very hidden and hard to see at times, and you could walk by them easily without noticing. The problem I can see with that is if a person was going into IKEA to get a specific item, they're kind of forced to walk through the whole store, which can be very frustrating, instead of just getting to the one spot they wanted to go to. That being said, that's very beneficial for IKEA, because if someone is coming in just to get one item, but they have to walk through the whole store, they may end up buying a couple more items that they didn't know they wanted right away, because they see it and they're like, oh, this looks cool, I'm going to go buy it. Another thing I liked about the store was that it was very helpful for customers. Everywhere I turned, I saw people with the yellow IKEA shirts helping out people, and there was also places around like every corner where you could give suggestions you had for the store and how to make it better. And while you walked in the showrooms, you couldn't buy things there. You'd have to go to the warehouse, but they had pencils and paper to write down all the information you needed, including the rows and where you can find the exact material once you get to the warehouse. Another big aspect of the store was the food court, which they advertised very heavily. Around every corner there was probably different signs for their food court and all their food. And the first thing I actually saw when I walked in was a sign advertising their Swedish meatballs, which surprised me at first because after all the trouble they had recently with the quality of meat in their meatballs, although it wasn't in America, it was still a big topic. And to have that as the first thing you see when you walk in, I didn't think that's what they'd be trying to advertise as much as their furniture. Also, what I noticed, which was very interesting, was they had a daycare once you walked in. So for people that were planning on spending like the whole time there, they could drop off their kids and get furniture shopping. And while I did not eat at the food court, it looked like it got the job done. One thing I did notice, besides they had a huge variety of food, was it was cheap. You could get chicken fingers and fries there that are less than you can get at diners in Maryland on campus. And finally, one last point I'd like to make is that it was just an eye-opening experience, as that I didn't realize how expensive furniture was. I knew IKEA was cheap furniture, but when I saw those prices, I thought it'd be much lower, and I'm scared to see what furniture at big stores or like nice furniture stores look like. Thank you.